Hello everybody. Hello K1 Visa Filer. For this video po, I'm going to share with you the most updated list of requirements from the US Embassy in Manila for your K1 fiancé visa interview. Now, don't skip this video. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, mag-subscribe ka na. Click the bell button to get notified on my uploads and update about the visa processes right now, especially na ang dami na pong nangyayari with the new administration and the new policy. So hello everybody. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to Jai and Jerry po. Kumusta ang tanan? Kumusta po? I hope everyone is doing fine and well today. So kumusta? Congratulations October filer. Nasa October na po sila nag-a-approve ng ng I-129F petition. Now, if you got approved, if you're an October filer, comment down below kung approve ka na or you're still waiting to get approved on your I-129F petition. Hang in there. Malapit na po talaga. Sobrang lapit na niya. This might be your month to get approved on your I-129F petition. So stay tuned para po updated kayo lagi sa visa processes. So if you're new here, let me just introduce myself to you. Hello po, my name is Jai. I am originally from the Philippines, but I live now in Florida. Just like you, I got here through a K1 fiancé visa, and right now I am a green card holder under 2 years conditional po. Magto 2 years na ako dito sa US, and next year I will soon be applying for my removal of conditions kasi 2 years green card pa lang po ang meron tayo. So sa mga mag-a-update or mag-a-apply ng removal of conditions soon, stay tuned for that video. As ano nga ba? Yes, eto na nga. Kasi ang daming naguguluhan, ang daming nagtatanong sa akin, Miss Jai, bakit ganito? Yung iba meron ganito, bakit yung iba wala naman? Ano ba talaga yung list of requirements na kailangan naming i-provide and dalhin sa US Embassy in Manila for our K1 visa interview? Kasi ang daming naguguluhan. Kasi may mga nagpo-post din na yung mga hindi naman hinihingi, pinopost talaga nila. Yung iba naman, kulang naman yung list of requirements. So, ito, nagtatanong sila. But anyways, nag-research ako and this is what I found out. So, just a quick disclaimer, I am not affiliated with any government agency nor working with or as an immigration attorney. I am not a professional or a legal expert. I'm only sharing based on my personal experience po and my research as a DIY filer of K1 visa. Lahat po ito, these are all based on my personal experience and my research. But then again, I also encourage everybody to do your own research kasi mas maganda na po na meron din po kayong alam, especially sa mga nangyayari right now. Always rely on the most or in the official website of the US Visa, that's uscis.gov, travel.state.gov, ustraveldocs.gov, and of course, the US Embassy in Manila. Those are the official website for the US Visa. Always rely on those website. And also, I will put it on the description box, yung mga link po nila para hindi na po kayo maguluhan. You can just click it and then it will lead you to the website. So yes, without further ado, ano nga ba, Miss Jai, what are the complete list of requirements that I need to bring with me on my interview at the US Embassy in Manila? So I'm just going to put the list for the beneficiary and then separate list for the petitioner para hindi po kayo maguluhan. Para at least naman po makaiwas kayo sa 221G or refuse 221G. Ano nga ba? What are the most common reasons why an applicant get refused 221G on their interview day? Please check this video right here. I have there the full explanation and the most common reasons right now why an applicant gets refuse 221G. Nandyan na po. Check that video para makaiwas ka na rin na ma-refuse 221G. Kasi pag na-refuse 221G kayo, dagdag waiting game na naman yan. Maghihintay na naman kayo either a week. Some people have to wait a month or 2 para po ma-approve and ma-issued yung visa nila. So please take note of that of those reasons bakit natutuwan G yung mga applicant. Check that video. Anyways, yes, let's start with the beneficiary. Number 1 po is your interview appointment schedule or interview appointment confirmation. Second is your DS-160 confirmation page. All you have to print out is the DS-160 confirmation page lang po. You don't need to print out the entire form. You just need to bring the front page, the first page of the DS-160. Importante po na klaro, clear yung barcode because they're going to scan that one. Next is your passport, and take note, your passport should be at least 6 months yung validity, 6 months and beyond. If you check your passport right now and it says it's valid for 6 months or 6 months na lang yung validity, and then your interview is not until next month or the next month or so, please renew your passport now because they will have you renew your passport before you can fly to the US. So make sure that your passport on the day of your interview is valid yan at least 6 months and beyond. Your visa receipt. If you have your visa receipt, if you paid it cash sa bangko, bring that one, the one that you paid sa bangko, or the confirmation nung pagbayad mo ng using the credit or debit card. So next is original birth certificate and SENUMAR. These should come from the PSA or the Philippine Statistic Authority. Dapat po nanggaling sa kanila and klaro po yung barcode because they're going to scan that sa loob po ng USEM ninyo and hindi na nila ibabalik. Lahat po ng isubmit ninyo kay USEM, hindi na po ibabalik yan sa inyo. NBI clearance. NBI clearance galing kay NBI office. I will put the link. Kung if you want to apply it or order it online, I will put the link in the description box para diretso na po kayo. For NBI clearance with AKA, kailan ba kukuha ng AKA? So please visit this video again. Na-explain ko po dyan because I have an AKA on my NBI clearance. Please check this video kung kailan kayo kukuha ng NBI. Also, one more thing, take note, let me just add this one. Sa mga late registered din po, please check this video for additional requirements that you need to bring sa US Embassy in Manila with you if late registered yung birth certificate po ninyo. So aside from NBI clearance, police clearance. Now the people that needs to comply for police clearance are those that lived and work abroad since 16 years old po sila. So if you have a K2, 16 years old or older that live with you or nagtrabaho abroad or nagpunta abroad, at least 6 months po, you need to comply or you need to get a police clearance on that specific country. Kailangan nyo pong kumuha and make sure na mag-advance kuha po kayo because yung ibang country, it takes a month or 2 or 2 to 3 months bago po mag-release ng police clearance para hindi po kayo maghintay and matutuwan G. So make sure if you live and work abroad for at least 6 months, 6 months and beyond, kumuha na po kayo ng police clearance in that country. So next po is the brown envelope that comes from St. Luke's, yung result po ng medical exam ninyo. All you have to bring is the brown envelope. You don't need to bring the 3025 with you, yung copy ng mga vaccines na tinurok po ni St. Luke sa inyo. And yung X-ray CD copy po, hindi nyo kailangang dalhin yan sa USEM. All you have to bring is the brown envelope or the medical result or medical exam na result po ni St. Luke's. Yun lang po yung dalhin ninyo. And 2x2 photograph or the visa photo po na kailangan ninyong dalhin kay USEM. Now, regarding the size requirement ng 2x2 photos na need ni USEM, I will also put in the description box kung anong size yan. But nung time ko, I just went to photo image or image something sa SM. They have their specific requirement ng US visa talaga kasi may other visas din sila in a country or mayroon, I think if they have a Japan visa and Australia visa, something like that. Go there, mura lang siya. I think it was only 250 something. Tapos 6 na siya. 6 na siya na 2x2 photos or 4 na 2x2 photos pa yun. So, doon ako kumuha sa kanila. US visa talaga yung requirements. But then, I will also put the link in the description box kung anong size ba talaga ng 2x2 photos na kailangan ni USEM. And of course, the evidence of your relationship, like photos. So I have a photos right here. I have a sample photos kung ano ba yung dinala ko sa USEM. And again, hindi nyo na kailangang gayahin na ganyan kadami kasi hindi din naman nila tinitingnan, but might as well bring some with you para at least kung maghanap man sila, meron kayong maiprovide. Evidence of relationship, mga photos, call logs, mga ganyan po, photos of meeting, ganyan. And now, yes, for the petitioner naman, ano ba yung kailangan, Miss Jai, from the petitioner? So if your petitioner is previously divorced, magdala po kayo ng original divorce decree po ni fiancé ninyo kasi hinahanap na po ngayon yan ni USEM and ang daming natutuwan because of that. Aside from it, the death certificate of the previous wife. If widower po yung fiancé ninyo, you need to bring the death certificate ng previous wife. Now, if your fiancé or may criminal record po yung fiancé ninyo dati, even if it's just minor problem and nag-case closed na or tapos na, it was like 20 years ago, 25 years ago, magdala na lang po kayo kasi hinahanap na rin ngayon yan ni USEM. Ang dami din pong natutuwan because of the police report or police clearance ng fiancé po nila. Pero mostly naman sa naririnig ko pag wala naman pong criminal records yung mga fiancé ninyo, hindi sila naghahanap. Minsan nagtatanong lang sila tapos tinatanong kayo na does your fiancé got involved into a criminal blah 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 ganyan. Just say no. Pero you never know, baka kasi yung iba kasi na fiancé hindi na nila sinasabi. Tapos may record pala sila nakikita ngayon yan ni USCIS, nakikita ngayon yan ni USEM. So hinahanap na rin ngayon. Baka ma-surprise na lang kayo. But anyways, wala naman. Kung walang problema, wala naman. Okay naman. And aside from that, number 1, the form I-134 or the affidavit of support. Kailangan nyo pong magdala niyan. Sino ba yung mag-fill out, Miss Jai? Pwede bang ako na lang mag-fill out or kailangan ba na si fiancé? This form po talaga, si fiancé po ninyo dapat ang mag-fill out because siya po ang petitioner ninyo. Siya po ang magsusuporta sa inyo pagdating nyo dito sa US. And though yung question kasi na nasa form is questions about your petitioner. So, dapat siya po mismo ang mag-fill out niyan. You can fill out if you want to, pero dapat kasi para sa kanya talaga yung it's an affidavit of support. Siya yung susuporta sa inyo, siya yung gasto sa inyo pagdating nyo dito sa US. So those are the complete list of requirements that you need to bring with you on your interview day at the US Embassy in Manila. Question, Miss Jai, dadalhin ba yung NOAA 1, NOAA 2, and NVC letter or the K1 FTP? No, hindi na po need yan. Hindi po sila naghahanap ever since. Hindi po sila naghahanap ng NOAA 1, NOAA 2, and NVC letter. So, you don't need to bring that. The one that I've mentioned, those are the complete list of requirements that you need to bring with you at the US Embassy in Manila. And original yung mga kailangan, especially from the PSA and NBI clearance. You may visit my YouTube channel, Jai and Jerry. Go to playlist album title K1 Visa and AOS. Nandyan na po lahat. I-scroll nyo na lang. Good luck, good luck. Sa mga mag-i-interview, I posted a video here. The top 25 most common questions na tinatanong sa K1 visa applicant sa USEM. Baka po at least ma-prepare kayo, magka-idea kayo kung ano yung isagot ninyo and ano ba yung mga questions na tinatanong usually sa K1 visa applicant. So good luck everybody. Good luck. Kung may nalimutan man ako, please check the description box. Ilalagay ko na lang po sa description box. And again, if you have any questions, you can always leave a comment sa comment sections po. Good luck, and thank you very much sa mga nakapag-subscribe na. Don't forget to like, to share this video to anyone you know that is still processing K1 visa, and mag-subscribe na rin po kayo. See ya! Bye!